I get asked this question all the time, especially by applicants who come from financially underprivileged backgrounds. Look, the fact of the matter is that not everybody has the financial stability and the time to go out and do tons of volunteering. I was in a similar situation. When I was applying to medical school, I did not have a lot of time to do volunteering because I had to make money alongside doing everything else I was doing to keep myself afloat. The good news is that not every single person who gets into medical school has done every single pre-medical experience. Everybody distinguishes themselves in different ways, and many people haven't checked every single box. When we're thinking about volunteering as a whole, what is the actual point of that on the med school application? You have to remember that being a physician, being a doctor, it's a service profession. And medical admissions committees are looking for some kind of evidence that you have a service orientation. That comes across if you're doing volunteering in a meaningful and sustained way, but it also comes across with the stance you have towards the rest of the things you do. For example, let's say you're talking about some really technical research. If you're very clear about how that helps the people that you were serving, the people who are going to benefit from that research, that is a way of demonstrating some amount of service orientation. A lot of the work that I did when I was a pre-medical student had to do with teaching. And teaching is also a service profession. So, in my mind, a lot of the teaching that I did demonstrated my service orientation. It's also worth mentioning that just because you can't do a ton of something doesn't mean it isn't meaningful for you to do some of that thing. You may be comparing yourself to people who are in circumstances where they can spend 500, 600, 700 hours, 2,000 hours on non-clinical volunteering. Well, that's good for them. They're distinguishing themselves in that way. You'll probably distinguish yourself a different way, but that doesn't mean you can't dip your foot in here and there if you get the time. Now, I did want to address that this particular commenter asked a follow-up question of, are admissions committees going to be forgiving? Future colleague, you have not sinned. There is nothing to forgive you for. That's not at all how it's thought about when you apply. You have built yourself, your professional identity, based on the things that you've done and how you've reflected upon them. We're looking for that substance. We're looking for that holistic, well-developed, reflective human being. It's not a sin to have developed in one way rather than another way. Everyone has their own unique story. Thank you for the thought-provoking question, and I hope that answers it. And for everyone watching, remember, you can always leave a comment down below. I'm always here to help and glad to see your comments.